My name is Hannah Scheller. I'm from Evansville, Indiana, which is about 3 hours west of Lexington.
So I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moved to Kentucky 3 years ago.
Well, my name is Cheyenne Miller, and I'm a senior in journalism at UK.
I'm Lashana. I go to Western Kentucky University. I will be news editor at the College Heights Herald in the fall.
My name is Marcus Dorsey. I do video work for Kentucky Colonel and for my own purposes, but I also do video work for the Lexington Herald-Leader for this summer.
I am a football columnist at the Colonel. I'm a senior at UK.
I'm an incoming sophomore at Western Kentucky University, and I'm studying journalism and anthropology.
See, I'm from here in Ohio. I will be a senior at Kent State University.
Well, I'm a junior at Kent State University, and I'm studying photojournalism.
I am Kyle Arnsdorf. I'm a news reporter / features writer.
I guess just how much I've been able to do over the summer. I've gotten to do like a wide variety of projects, going from like talking to celebrities at the Derby to covering murder trials and stuff like that.
You know, getting to report on stuff that we don't get to report on at the Colonel. I feel like I got better as the year went on.
Really just the change of atmosphere. I had never worked at an urban style newspaper like the Herald-Leader. So just the quick tempo, the emphasis on really doing a good job writing, really being accurate in your reporting, and all those things are important anyway, but really just the pressure to really do a good job, really to come out with quality work.
What I liked about especially this summer is it was an opportunity to step out of my comfort zone. My writing has improved a lot. I'm really thankful for that, especially tightening up leads, because that's something I've always struggled with, especially being really news oriented and coming here and getting to do a lot more features.
What I like most about it is the atmosphere is very comfortable. It's definitely an atmosphere where I feel like I can work, and they give me a lot of opportunities to be able to explore a lot of Lexington, get out of my comfort zone, and be able to meet new people, see new places, and just open my eyes to new things, which I'm very grateful for.
Got a lot of opportunities that I don't think I would ever have had at the Colonel, I should say. Got to meet some football players from the Bengals, and I got to meet a lot of cool athletes, got to talk to a lot of cool people.
I really liked having the opportunity to write the kind of stories that I'm interested in. It was really great to be able to meet so many people in the community. Not being from Lexington, it was just a great way to get into the area and learn about it and the people who live here.
I like that the newsroom is a very low-stress environment. I can get my work done on time, and if I ever have any questions, I can always ask someone and they have an answer.
Everyone's really welcoming, and everyone kind of made me feel like I actually am part of the newsroom. Everyone's just really supportive, and I think as an intern that's something that you really need is support, especially as you learn and grow.
What I liked most about the Herald-Leader was the people that I got to work with. Everyone seemed so nice and were so willing to help any of us when we needed help, and I think that's what I'm going to miss the most, is just the camaraderie that long-term workers had with all of us, and how nice they were to us.
My favorite project overall was getting to do a story on Teslas. I guess one of the reasons that the project was my favorite because it was all my own. I came up with the idea and everything, and it took a lot of work tracking down this guy, but then I eventually tracked him down and got a hold of him. He was super friendly, invited me and a photographer to come out, and he took us on a test drive, and it was just awesome, like going 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Oh, there was like a sewage leak in eastern Kentucky, and it was pumping out like millions of gallons of sewage every single day into this river. And so that was cool to write about, just because, partially just because as a fisherman you care about rivers, and it was just a horrible thing, and the only one to report on it was some little paper in eastern Kentucky. So it was cool to be able to do something I feel like actually mattered.
Probably my two favorite projects that I worked on were a profile on bluegrass crime stoppers, which has been helping the community for a long time, for several decades. I also got to do a feature on a local guy named Scott Clark, who, as a free service to people in the community, will find lost rings for people. He's very skilled at metal detecting, and he will go out and look for lost rings for people. He finds about 12 a year. That was a story I was very proud of. I thought I really went in depth and sort of detailed what he does, so I got to hang my hat on that one at the end of the day. So I think those two were my favorite projects this summer, but I've enjoyed everything I've gotten to do, really.
One that I really liked, which I didn't think I would like as much, was doing a story on the University of Kentucky's Art Museum. I got a private tour, which is really cool. One of the exhibits there was of Vivian Meyer's photographs, and I just really liked her photographs. I'd never heard of her before, so it was really cool to find out more about this photographer. And I also got to interview William Shatner, so that was cool.
My favorite project must have been the UK Opera Theatre's production of It's a Grand Night for Singing, when they led me through the front stage, the backstage, and all over the entire production as they were rehearsing and as they were performing that night. There's just so much that I got to see and experience through that just blew my mind. And the video in the end came out to almost a short documentary, and it's been seen by thousands of people so far.
My Matt Langle story kind of blew up a little bit. That was pretty cool. EK, you picked that one up. That was probably my favorite one.
My favorite project was going to the Pioneer Playhouse in Danville. People there were just very interesting and welcoming, and it was super great to be able to go there multiple times and watch the performances.
I've liked working on anything horse related. I mean, I'm from northern Ohio. We don't have horse fields everywhere. And I also liked going to Johnson County to see the flood damage, because I've always had like an interest in weather related events, and this was the first kind of natural disaster that I've seen in person.
I really enjoyed shooting an assignment at Douglas Park. A couple weeks prior to it, there had been a shooting at this community park, and the community and the Lexington Police Department tried to show people that the park is safe and that it's kid-friendly, and the cops were outside playing basketball and like playing tag and frisbee with all these kids, and I thought that was great because a lot of times police departments are portrayed negatively in media, and I think anything that sheds a good light on the law enforcement is something that's pretty good.
I'd say my favorite project, not necessarily writing, but going to cover, was the Pride Festival downtown, because it felt like such a historic moment.
I really want to stay in journalism. I'd love to move to Lexington after I'm done with school. I really want to stay in news. I love talking to people. I love getting to hear their stories, and I feel honored when they let me tell their stories to the world, to Lexington, whoever's gonna read my article or watch my video or whatever.
As far as professionally, I'd like to be a reporter. Just like do cool stuff reporting. I don't know if it'll be news or for magazines or whatever, but just write cool stories.
I'd like to work for a news publication of some sort. Obviously, journalism is a passion of mine, and I'd like to make a living doing that. A newspaper about the size of the Lexington Herald-Leader I think would be perfect for me, but ultimately I just want to write for a living, and if I can do that, I'll be happy.
Well, actually, I don't want to work at a newspaper, so it's kind of weird. What I want to do is I want to work with a nonprofit organization in an area that I feel like I would like to help, which would be environmental issues, space advocacy, or human rights. But I want to do freelancing on the side and maybe write a book one day.
I'd like to stick with videography. I learned through the Herald-Leader that videography is definitely something that I most enjoy doing, and I like to pursue it more, maybe making short films, documentaries, music videos, or maybe just working with a firm or a business and producing video for them.
Yeah, I'd like to stay in sports. I mean, I want to get on a beat, because I've learned that if you don't have a beat or something particular to cover, it's kind of hard to come up with story ideas, and it kind of gets, sitting at the desk a lot kind of sucks, but I like to be out and about.
In the future, I hope to just continue to write and tell stories that matter to people. I definitely learned a lot here, definitely about just writing, editing, and like the whole process with that. I think I've grown a lot as a reporter working at the Herald-Leader.
I'm looking to stick with newspaper, and because I like the variety of how each day kind of varies. There's something different to do every day.
I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet. I know I want to travel a lot. I'd love to just travel the world and do some freelance, and maybe come back and teach at a collegiate level photojournalism, but anything involving photography is just something I want to do, and I know it's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I hope to be able to do something in movie writing, reporting on the Oscar race, or doing some sort of film criticism of some sort.
Thank you, Herald-Leader, for hiring me. I appreciate it. I think I did all right, and thanks to John Stamper for being my editor. Yeah, I just appreciate the opportunity.
Just that Lexington is a very beautiful, it's a very elegant community. I'm happy to live in Lexington. I'm happy to have got to work here this summer.
Coming from a small town, Lexington was a big change. I'm used to going from point A to point B in like 10, 15 minutes, whereas now Lexington's got the traffic and it takes 30 minutes just to get here.
And again, happy that I was able to work with the Herald-Leader because, in my opinion, they're probably the most respect-worthy news organization in the state and in the region. And thank you to everyone who helped me, everyone who I got to work under this summer, and everyone in the office. You've been such a big help, and you've really helped me progress my journalism career. So thank you to the Herald-Leader and all their staff.